yo doers, what's up? It's your boy Happy Chappy here. Yeah. Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday. And on this one, we're just going to do a very simple, very basic, very quick tutorial on how to build item sorters. Now, this was stupid simple. We have impulse to thank for these designs here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you how to build it, show you how to build the alternates too as well. And then we will go over into, what to do and how to do it if you want to set it up for a large scale thing like most of the big YouTubers do. So now the items that you are going to need per item sorter are very simple. You just need a single torch, 3 redstone dust, a comparator, a repeater, 2 hoppers, 2 chests, and 6 builder blocks. 5 if you're going to build it on the ground, but we are going to be building ours up so we can expand it. What you are also going to need is 4 blocks. So 4 of any block. I'm going to use netherite bricks because you can get them in abundance from a bartering farm, and I don't know what I'm ever going to use them for. And then the items that you are going to sort out. Okay, so the first thing you are going to do for the item sorter is just build a 2-high pillar and make it a T, basically, just like that. And then you're going to take a repeater and run it into that bottom block with a redstone torch on the bottom side. You're then going to put another solid block on the back, jump up to the top here, place a comparator facing out like that, and then 3 redstone dusts running downhill into that repeater. What you can now do is run a hopper going into that comparator. You'll have to shift click to get it. Place 4 of any block inside this hopper. Place 41 of whichever item you are going to be sorting inside that hopper right in the first slot. Your 4 locking blocks go here into the back, and that is basically it right there. Now what we need to do is we need to place a chest right there with a hopper going into it. And that is your item sorter right there, done and complete. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, obviously, you're going to need a bit more storage than just 1 chest and 1 item sorter. So what you're going to do is you're just going to mirror these next to each other. So just 1 next to each other. You can double up this chest, place another one below it if you would like to, and even run another hopper going into that. So again, in order to build this, you just need to run your blocks out, your repeater, your comparator with your dust, redstone torch on the bottom, hopper going in, chest right there, hopper going out, locking blocks, and then 41 of whichever item you are going to be sorting. And once you are all complete, that is what it should look like right there. So it's just a repeatable design. Now, if you know how long and you know how big you're going to be building these things, I'm going to show you the fastest way in order to put these things together so you don't have to waste too much time doing it. So what you are going to do is you're going to mark out where your first chest is going to be. So your first loading chest. So that chest right there on top, mark out where that is going to be, and then just run your hopper going into it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to build back 2, down 2, and over 1. You can even remove this block right here. And now what you are going to do is however long your item sorter is going to be, just run your blocks off of this one here. So this is where the repeaters are going to be. And you can even turn the corner too as well. So let's say you want to make yourself a nice little, angled box like so. So we can turn the corner just like that. Then we are going to run another row up and on the backside just like this. And now on this lower block, we can just run all of our repeaters. Okay, once you have your repeaters in place, you can run a row of blocks in front of them, and then bring this section here back 3 wide, just like this. Once you have your platform done, all you have to do now is just run your comparators and your redstone, and you are basically done and good to go. Once you have everything in place, what we are going to do is we are just going to then run our chest. So we can even do this from the bottom side, as you can see. Then you can run along your chest and place all of your hoppers into the comparators. Then you can come down to the bottom side, place in all of your redstone torches on the bottom half here. Run your hoppers going into the chests. And that is what it should look like right there. So you should have your redstone all on the back with all of your repeaters in place. As you can see. And it's a pretty simple build. Now what you need to do is you need to go along and you need to lock all of these hoppers here. So by placing your 4 blocks in the first slot and then your 41 into the second slot. And then once you have that complete, we'll work on the waterways and the other solutions that you have in order to get items down and into this item sorter here. Okay, so now I have this item sorter set up with all of the items here that you see in the inventory. So there's 6 in total. Each item sorter or each item has 4 slots in order to grab from. Now what we need to do is we need to get the items into these item sorters. Now the simplest way to do this, if you've got the iron for it, is to just run your hoppers all the way across and to the end here. Just like this. So your input chest is going to be on the left wherever your items are going to come across. They will flow across above these hoppers here and then all the way over to the end here. This is where your outflow chest goes. So whichever items you do not have in the item sorters will end up in this chest right here. So as you can see, if we just stick 8 of each item inside here, or sorry, that's going to be 16, but whatever. As you can see, wherever your item sorter is, or the first item in the item sorter, it grabs the first one, pulls it down into this hopper, and then the remainder end up in this chest down here. Now, as you can see, I have all of these ones. Like I said, I have 4 each for each item. So the first one grabbed for each of these item sorters. So as you can see here, the first one in the slot of 4 grabbed all of the items. But you are going to run into situations, especially if you are building an item sorter that is this big, where you actually need it to be faster and you have more items coming in. So the hopper system, it doesn't really keep up. So here's what we're going to do. You have multiple ways that you could do this. But the favorite method to use is honey blocks. So all you do here is place your honey blocks above the hoppers where you have your item sorter set up. Just like that, but this method also requires you to build a water pass, so that includes possibly some ice. I would use ice. A way to enclose the water path too as well, the water itself, so you could either use ice blocks or water buckets, slabs, or some signs. So what you want to do is right here in front of the honey blocks, you're going to place down your ice blocks or your ice path or whatever path you are going to make, and then you are just going to close this in as well. Now, on the back corner here, you may be tempted to close this in with glass or your builder block. You do not want to do that. You want to carry your honey blocks down all the way to the back corner like this, and we'll go over that just here in a second. Now what we need to do is we need to get our water in place, and we need to get it in place so that it flows towards these honey blocks here. We have to align our items with the honey blocks here over top of the hoppers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run it out one block like so, and this is where our water source is going to go. And as you can see, the water pushes towards the back wall here. And the reason why we want to do that is so that when we throw our items in here, as you can see, they get picked up by the first thing there, or the first items there in the row of item sorters. Now, that one skipped by, and that is an important thing that happened, and that is done on purpose. You need to ensure that wherever these blocks are, you have your honey blocks in place of solid block. So now if we drop an item in there, as you can see, even if we throw it over into this corner, it's going to line itself up along the back wall. And the reason why that is honey blocks have a slightly less hitbox than all the other blocks in Minecraft. Now there is other blocks that you can use, but as you can see, all of the items get picked up by the item sorters. It doesn't matter how fast they come in. So now, in order to extend this water stream down all the way to the end, all you have to do is take your slabs, and about every 4 blocks, place down a slab on the top half like so, or you can place a sign on the back side, so the opposite side of the honey blocks here. Then all you have to do is place down another water source right in front of that sign or slab, count down about another 4 or 5 blocks, and just repeat the process. Now, when you get to ends and corners here, like you see, what you can do is just leave it so that way it turns over, because it's going to push towards the backside no matter what. Or what you could do is you could place a sign or a slab and then restart your water right from that corner right there. And no matter what, as you can see, so what do we have on this end? I think we have pumpkin. And as you can see, no matter what item we throw in here, they all align along the backside, realign along the backside, and then end up down in this water path. Okay, and once you have everything complete, that is it right there. That is the item sorter. Now all you need to do is expand the storage down, because we are going to obviously have, we're not building this just to store a few items. So all you need to do is expand your chests down, expand them out as well too, so as you can see, and then run your hoppers going into them. Now there are 2 ways that you could do this. You can extend all of these chests out and then expand them down too as well. So as you can see, just for these first 4 items in the item slot here, we have 16 chests right now in total in order to store those items. So even if the first one fills up, we've got another 4 double chests here for it to pick from, and then another 4, and then another 4. Now, if you don't like the look of that, what you could also do is go double wide just like that. Gives it a little bit of a different look, but you lose half of the storage. So there we've got 16 per pod. So 4, 8, 12, 16. And this one here, we only have 8. So depending on how many items that you have coming in, you know, set it up however you want. As you can see on the Minecraft server, when I do actually finish this, we are going to be having a lot of bulk items coming into these back ones here, and then the little bit of the lesser items coming in on these side walls here. So yeah, if you're not watching the Minecraft series, stay tuned. This is next episode. Okay, now that we have our item sorter and everything all in place, all our chests are in place, our waterways are in place, our overflow chest is in place too as well. Now what we need to do is we need to get the items in here. Multiple ways you could do this, but we're just going to set up a simple, silent dropper elevator, Droppervater. And the items that you are going to need are very straightforward. So you need 1 repeater, 1 comparator, 1 piece of redstone dust, 3 blocks, any type of builder blocks. And then depending on how high you are going to build this, you are going to need some droppers, obviously, some observers, and some redstone dust. Now, if you only make this 4 high, so the Droppervater is only 4 high, all you need to do is bring along 3 observers and a single piece of redstone dust. If you make it too high, just bring along a single observer, I think I said repeater, and a single piece of redstone dust. Okay, so for this Droppervater, what you're going to do is right here where you have your water source going to start, what you're going to do is you're just going to run a row of droppers all the way up to the top, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're just going to run a hopper going into the bottom dropper there. Off of the hopper, you're going to run a solid block, comparator, solid block, piece of redstone dust, solid block, repeater, and then another piece of redstone dust. Now what you are going to do is you are going to run a observer, tuck that in there facing out from the dropper, just like so. Another observer facing down into that piece of redstone dust with a piece of redstone dust on the back of the observer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the third and final observer, we're going to run it going into that dropper right there. And like I said, if you've done 4 high, that is all you need to do. But since we've done it 5 high, what we're going to do is we are going to actually add 1 more observer, a piece of redstone dust, and then we are going to tuck another observer right up there. And that right there is what your Droppervater should look like. So now all we need to do is put our water in place, cover this over with something. We can cover this over with something so that way nothing falls out. And this right here can now be our input chest. So no matter what we put in here, it's going to end up in the item sorter. It's going to get dispensed into the system. And basically your item sorting system is done. So as you can see here, we are onto the melons now, and we are skipping over all of the items all the way down to these chests here, and these are getting collected, picked up. Nothing is ending up in the overflow chest here, and everything is ending up where they need to. So you can see these items come buzzing through here pretty quick with the water setup that we have here, and no matter what, they get caught in the system because we have four hopper systems or 4 sorting systems set up for each one. So there we are onto the diamonds now too as well. So they're getting sorted into their chests. And as you can see, even with how fast all of the items are coming in, nothing has ended up into the secondary chests here, which is a great thing. So 4 is definitely enough to keep up with this. 2 is perfect. 3 and 4 just end up being overflow basically. And here we are on to the final one now. So we are on to gold. It is right in the corner and not a single one is making it by. I thought one did. Nope, it all got collected. And yep, we are empty over here. Okay, now before we finish this video, we're just going to go over a few key notes here, okay? It is important, it is very important that you do not put any more into these secondary slots here. If you do, you're going to end up in trouble. If you know you're going to have a slow system, you can adjust these if you would like to in order to bring the amount of items here down. But if this fills up all the way to 64, the signal here can bleed over and then start to let the items out of the next item in line or even the one before it. So just keep these right here at 1 block. Okay, in my survival series, I need to adjust these because I've done a little test on my, makeshift world over there, and what I've done completely breaks the system. I need to just put 1 block in each slot. But there you have it. That is your item sorter. So that right there is what everything should look like when you are all done and complete. Inflow, the Passover, and then the overflow. So there you have it, doers. That is your very simple, very basic item sorter tutorial. There are other ways that you can set these things up in order to use less items, but as I was saying, they all just break the system. If you want to know more about it, just head over to Impulse's video. He'll let you know everything you need to know. I'll put this in a world download for you guys too as well. Leave a like, consider subscribing, shop Happy Chap for your world downloads, visit the Teespring store for some merch. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys, and I'll definitely see you on the next episode. Peace.